and welcome. This is Margaret, and this is the Boboleros podcast. This is a podcast where we talk primarily about knitting, but also inspiration from the world of design, fashion, the classical arts, and random drippings from the brain pan do often occur. So it's been a long time. It feels like, it's August now. The last time we touched base on a podcast was in July. So I hope you've been having a great summer. I can't believe I always say this, but it's true. It's like it's just been racing by, but it's early August. I love this time of year where it's kind of like we have the Jersey tomatoes this time of year. That's one of my favorite things of all. So yeah, things are still that nice pace and getting ready for the fall. So I have a number of updates to share with you, things I've been working on, projects, whips, no finished objects today, unfortunately, but I do have some inspiration from the world of needlepoint and a legend of the whole design space, not only in needlepoint, textiles, and so many other things, Kaffe Fassette. And I'd just like to share a couple of things in that regard and also tell you about a giveaway we have coming up. I have some pretty groundbreaking news for Boboleros. So stay tuned to the end, and I can't wait to share that with you. So anyway, let's get started. Let's do the giveaway because, like I said, I promised y'all that we'd have a giveaway for Boboleros yarn. And this past few weeks, I have been joyously and busily dyeing up and preparing colors for the Barbie collection. So I thank you all who have ordered. It was just so awesome. It just was like a great response, and I'm just so thrilled that you guys love the colors. I'm so excited to see what you knit with it. And just from a personal point of view, it was something that just magnified the more I got going with the collection. I just kept adding more colors, and it turned into like a real big collection. So, it was just so much fun. And if you guys have seen the Barbie movie, I was there like for the opening day. I went with my daughter Maia. We had a great time. We really loved it. And it's just, pow in your face, the colors, and of course the pinks. And I heard they ran out of the color pink in the making of this movie. Yeah, there was a shortage of pink. So we still have pink represented in many ways here, but let's get to the colors because there was one colorway from the Barbie collection. This one is called Crystal Fantasy Purple. All the colors in that collection were inspired by many vintage Barbies from the past. And so the Crystal Fantasy Barbie, she was wearing a very fabulous purple dress. And so this skein is on the Rita Chunky, which is 100% superwash merino bulky weight yarn. And it's got 78 yards in it. And it is just like the squishiest, most like dreamy fabric. This year I've been knitting almost 80% of the stuff I've knit has been with this base combined with a strand of mohair. I'm not joking. It is just the most comfortable, and it gives a great firmness to the fabric. I love knitting this with 13 size needles, especially. Like, I don't know why 13, 15 is like not quite doing it for me, at least, because it produces a larger stitch, and 11 is just too tight, but like 13, at least from my experience with it, it's just like the Goldilocks spots when I put this together with my Vivian mohair. And I'll show you an example of something I knit with that in a second. So for the giveaway, I am giving away one skein of the Crystal Fantasy from the Barbie collection. And an upcoming collection, which I like to just sneak peek for you, which will be featuring a lot of jewel tones. You know, now that we're heading into the fall, you know, every season has, you know, its own vibe. So this one I have not even named it yet, but it is like, again, I love a neutral that is in the department of mystery. Like, you can't even name the color because it's neither white, it's not cream, it's not gray, it's not brown, it's not beige. It's somewhere in between. And it's in those spaces in between. Like Mozart said, the music is made in the spaces in between the notes. If we think about the color rainbow spectrum, I love the in-between spaces. That's where the music is. So I just thought this pairing was adorable because you got the punchiness here, and then you have the more subdued mystery here. So this could be a hat, this could be a little cowl, and I am designing a cowl as we speak. And so, you know, hopefully by the time somebody wins this and you feel like making it, you'll have the yarn for it. So anyway, to enter this giveaway, please just comment below and tell me, what, with the fall coming up, what is one of your first fall knits? I know that for myself, I was talking with my daughter Maia, who's now become like such a prolific knitter. We were talking about, she said to me yesterday, she goes, Mom, fall is for knitting. And I mean, of course it is. All seasons are for knitting, but there's something so special about the fall knitting. You know, like you got your cozy, whatever, pumpkin spice latte, you've got your, you know, apple cinnamon tea, you've got like the scent of that cinnamon, you've got the leaves falling off the tree, you've got like that beautiful candle, you've got the crispy air, and the coziness of your knit project. So in any case, let me know in the comments below, what is one of the first fall knits that you are just like, can't wait to get on your needles, okay? I would love to know. So anyway, this is a scrumptious pairing. Like I said, I don't have a color name for this yet. I was thinking of the name Milk Bar. I don't know why. It just, as I was dyeing this, I came up, like, that came into my mind. There used to be this place called Milk Bar. It was in South Jersey, in Long Beach Island. I was there like 10 years ago, and there was a little cafe there called Milk Bar. And I just love the name of it, like Milk Bar. It's like, yeah. In Poland, which is where my background is, they have these kinds of places called mleczarnias, yeah, like milk bars. So Milk Bar. Okay, giveaway, enter to win. Those are such fun things. I love hearing your responses and hearing like what you guys are making and what is, you know, exciting to knit for you guys. All right, on to works in progress. Now, because I have just been really busy dyeing yarn and preparing the Barbie collection, I didn't have much time to knit this month. I was so behind the 8 ball, but let me show you some things that I did get started. So the first thing here is a sweater, and this is just very, very kind of riffing off of the pattern, the Fancy Sweater by Lamb & Kid. It's just a very basic sweater. And I might have shown you little bits and pieces of this on social media, on my Instagram page already. So this is the colorway from the Barbie Collection, Glitter Beach. And if you, the Barbie Collection is kind of like, I've put it away for now. I've tucked it away, but I might bring it back if you know, if people want more of it. So if you're interested in any of these colors, just get in touch with me either through the website, contact me page, or, you know, DM me on Instagram, and I'll see what I could do. But in any case, this was the glitter beach, which is in the boucle. And it's just like this wonderful melange of pinks and I don't know, it's got like a little bit of a fluorescent, not really fluorescent, but it's just alive. It's alive with color. Yellows and blues and like little purples, and yeah, it's such a interesting base. So this, as you could see, this reads a lot more intense in color than the fabric produced. And let me show you the reason why is because I am also holding it with a skein of the alpaca, and this is in a colorway, very muted, called Perfume Pretty. This has turned into one of my very favorite colors. Now you can't catch it on camera, but there are little speckles of different colors in it, little bits of blues and yellows. And so together they form the body of this fabric. And it is 100% scrumptious. That's all I could say. Now, because you could see the yellow flecks in the glitter beach, I thought, let me combine it with the yellow. So this is a color called Sunshine. This I didn't put with the Barbie collection, but it is available as a custom dye. And this just, I don't know, I'm a sucker for when you have a very intense, I don't know what the color is, like, I can't think of what this pink is. Like in my mind, it's like in this area of, I mean, like what periwinkle is to purple blue, this is to pink, right? I can't describe this color, which is what makes it very interesting to me. And so I'm just doing some stripes. I was thinking of doing just a uniform stripe the way that I did my last fancy sweater, which was with Lamb and Kids Big Birdie. I have some dropped stitches here. That is not fun, but we'll deal with that later. And I just said, you know what? I wanted this because this was such a fun color. I wanted to not be uniform with my striping. So I'm sort of seeing the way it goes, and I am not sure. I might do another stripe here, maybe another thin stripe before I do the ribbing for the bottom. I'm not, yeah, or maybe I'll just leave it as is. I really don't know. I have to measure it out and see what feels right. I'm thinking of also just taking it in because, again, like, it's always interesting how you start a project and then it kind of takes a life of its own. So you come to it maybe with an idea and then it tells you what it needs, right? So I had just really the intent to make just an ordinary sweater, in the case like no modifications. And here I am thinking, okay, maybe now it needs to be pulled in and cinched. You know, maybe I need to do something with the sleeves, you know, just to, you know, bring it to a more, let's just say, eclectic or, yeah, like a different kind of rendering than what I initially thought. One of the main features here, which I really love, is this fold down double collar. And so that's part of the pattern. I think because I was messing around with the gauge, because I didn't get the gauge according to pattern. So I changed, I think I'm on 10 needles here, and I changed the numbers for the cast on. I think I did 80 stitches. I can't remember, but when I put this on Ravelry, I'll write my notes. And anyway, so it came out more as a funnel neck, which I love. One of my obsession sweaters is the sweater that Audrey Hepburn wore in Breakfast at Tiffany's. I don't know if you guys remember that scene towards the end where she's cooking in her apartment, and what's his name? Varjak, Paul Varjak, her, you know, the guy in love with her, comes for dinner and like the rice explodes. And so she's wearing this camel's a better word, camel sweater with this funnel neck and these pencil black pants. And it is just the elegance of that sweater, exactly with, you know, this kind of like funnel neck and where it falls. I want to make into like an homage to the iconic. I am such an Audrey Hepburn freak. I have almost every book about Audrey Hepburn. So when people come to my studio for piano lessons and they're waiting in the waiting room, they have like a whole bookcase devoted to Audrey Hepburn that they could look through. I just thought she was, as most people do, I mean, just one of these absolute iconic beauties inside and out. Her heart, I think, is what made her so beautiful. In any case, that sweater is unforgettable. So this is turning into a little bit of, it reminds me of that construction. So there you go. I'm hoping to finish this by the time the summer is out. I have to say I messed up on the short rows. And I don't know if you can see this, but I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I really don't know what I was doing when I was doing the short rows. Instead of like keeping them to the back, I started bringing them to the front. I don't know what I was doing. In any case, here I've got some short rows going and it's puckering a bit, which I hope will block out, but it doesn't bother me enough to like fix it at this point. I'm going with it, but duh, Margaret. Like, what? Short rowing? And yeah, that was like one of those brain fart moments. Okay, so that's on the needles. And okay, another thing. You might have caught this. This was with the Barbie collection, was the Barbie bubble wrap, this cowl, which I made using this base, the Rita Chunky, and one strand of the Vivian brushed mohair, which is a dream. And this combo produces like just the best kind of fabric. So anyway, just love it. I'm wearing a very graphic dress today, so you know, but I mean, this is so cozy. It's so great to just like, woo, for the, you know, upcoming chillier months and everything else. And this is created with a very simple bubble stitch. And I know it looks complicated. It's so not, because the beauty of this is that you're just knitting all the time. There's no purling. There's no kind of, you know, deviation from that, except when you do the bubble stitch, which only happens every 6 rows. It's just one simple kind of step where you ladder down. And I have, if you're interested in that pattern, it's available on Ravelry or on the Boboleros website. I have video instructions in case you've never done the bubble stitch before. Very, very simple. And so yeah, you ladder down and then you knit, and so that creates this kind of, you know, that bubble, you know. And it's very, you know, it's got the halo, it's got that, you know, 3D effect, and I just love it. So this is a version with 4 colors, and I was selling kits, and again, the kits may be back. You never know. Wait for the revelation at the end of the podcast. Okay, so now I'm making another Barbie bubble wrap, but this time I am changing the contrast color schematic. So this is just a 2 color. So the white base is called Cream. Again, it's with my Vivian mohair and the Rita Chunky. But to create this effect, I'm just doing that 6th row in hot pink. So this is the color that was the most popular in the Barbie collection. Like, this one sold so much of it. Iconic pink. And, you know, of course, I'm not surprised that was the most popular color in the Barbie collection, because it's the iconic hot pink. You know, come on, you can't have Barbie without pink, right? So this is the iconic hot pink, and it just produces the coolest effect. Now, I don't know what got into me, but I was feeling this hot pink so badly that I went out and I got myself a pair of hot pink cowboy boots. Now, I'm not a cowboy I have not been known to wear cowboy boots, but I'm so vibing with this. So I envision this with like, for the fall, jeans, this, and hot pink cowboy boots, okay? Yeah. All right. So super fast, super fun. And like when I was saying cow, this I'm going to, it'll take me no time really. It's going to be really fast. But what about instead of having this as the wrap, you just do it as a cowl, just casting on fewer stitches. You could definitely do that with only 2 skeins and get, you know, this fabulous cowl. I like when a cowl is more like a dicky for myself because I'm always cold. So I want it to press against my neck, like as a Bunsen burner. I want it to be there. I see these beautiful cowls and they're drapey, and I think they look fabulous on most people, but on me, I want to have the Bunsen burner, like almost like a neck brace. I want it to be hot. I want it to be like really, really like scrunchy. So this will be also a cowl pattern, which I'll be releasing. So let me know. What do you think? I love this, actually. This is like so fun. So fun and easy. I'm into fun, easy, punchy. That's what Boboleros, if somebody was asking me what makes Boboleros, you know, like what is your thing? What makes Boboleros different? It's fun, it's fast, and it's punchy. And I will say, again, I had a knitting mentor, Susan Haynes. I love her so much. I haven't seen her in years, but my gosh, Susan had a store in a town near me, and that was years ago. It was called the Knitting Lab. And Susan, such a woman of such incredible taste, flair. Whatever she would wear, everybody wanted to knit it. And and one thing that I learned from her was the power of the bulky knit. And I mean, she was very she looked like a model. She was so stunning. But when she would put on these like big chunky knits, it just was like traffic stopping. And that's when I realized the power of the impactful bulky knit, the kind of stuff that Loopy Mango is making. And I realized that every time I would, you know, my earlier stages of knitting, every time I would spend like months and months making like fingering weight projects, then I'd be so proud to wear them. So 2 things would happen. Like, number 1, I never felt they were warm enough for me. And number 2, they didn't really pack the punch. And then I noticed every time I'd put on, you know, like a little cardi that I made from Loopy Mango. One time I was wearing this on a cruise ship, like it was called the Super Cropped Cardi by Loopy Mango. It's just adorable, like little, and so, you know, nice to put over a dress or high-waisted pants. I was on a cruise ship in Alaska, and this lady was following me around, and she wanted that. She's like, "Where did you get that?" I've been like staring at it, and as I made it, and she's like, "What? That could be made?" I said, yeah. And it was in this orange, punch orange color that Loopy had. And she's like, "I don't know how to knit." And then like the next day, she again found me, and then she's like, "You know, I was dreaming of that color." And that's when I knew I had to give her that knit, because if somebody dreams of a color, I really feel like they need that color in their life. So I was like, you know what, take it, because I could make more. It's not a big deal. So anyway, the power of the chunky knit is like the Boboleros thing. Although we do have thinner gauge things like on the needles too. Yep. Anyway, okay. What's the next thing? Okay. Oh, wow. Let me just now segue into the awesome news. Okay. The awesome news is that Boboleros will most likely be having a presence during the Rhinebeck weekend this year. I can't believe it. Oh my God. So that, you know, again, would be at Cake Palooza, which is going to be the Friday of Rhinebeck weekend. Now, let me show you how this came about. So I went a few weeks ago to Forever Yarn in Doylestown to see my beautiful friend Yen, and she was having a bunch of special guests there for a crafters festival. Let's call it a festival. So there were like amazing hand dyers there, like Chelsea Yarn, Fashion School Dropout, Kate Wool, and then the purses by Black Pearl Magic, Tanny Casey. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody, but in any case, I went, and yeah, and that's how it came about. And so I need your help, because as I prepare for cake, which is like a dream come true for me, and Boboleros, it's like an absolute dream come true, because last year when I left Rhinebeck, I couldn't sleep at night because I was so excited, and the idea of Boboleros came to me. And so in my mind, I said, next year, 1 year from now, Boboleros will be at Rhinebeck. And to have this actually manifest and happen is truly takes my breath away. Okay, so I'm so grateful, and I need your help, because in preparing what to bring, I would love to get your input. Like, would you be into kits? Would you be into more Barbie collection? Would you be into Barbie fall collection, which I have ideas for, you know, some jewel tones added in for sure. Bubble wrap kits, bubble cowl kits, kits to make sweaters that are more like worsted weight kind of projects, a little less bulky, because I do find the bulky is great. Personally, I find bulky great for accessories, but for sweaters, like this is boucle held with alpaca, which makes more of so a DK held with a fingering, which makes more of a worsted, and that is pretty much butter. If you're knitting with Big Birdie from Lamb and Kid, it's got a very similar feel to it, and I just say that because I just knit a sweater with the Big Birdie, and just I love that kind of thickness, and it's not too thick. So that's what I recommend for sweaters personally, because that will give, you know, the warmth but without the bulk. Or just, you know, bring colors and, you know, yeah. So I think I'll have a variety of like kits, and then just colors in different bases, and just some fun other extras. So anyway, I'm just like so pumped and so thrilled about that. So can't wait. And Vita is going to be there, my good friend Victoria Vita, which by the way, her coffee collection, if you guys haven't seen it, I think it's closing tonight, and it is on fire. It is incredible, these colors. Okay, let me show you some of the things that I've acquired from that day at Forever Yarn. First of all, I had to get my mitts on Chelsea Yarn's silk scarves, which she is such an incredible hand dyer. I couldn't get over, like when I saw her post on Instagram about the silk scarves, I was like, this has to happen. So this is all crumbled, like wrinkled, because I have been wearing it or putting it on my bag ever since I got it. But how fabulous is this? It's just the right size too, to wear comfortably and to just add that little pizzazz. We love that little pizzazz. So yeah. Oh, by the way, Twin Aura knits were also at Forever Yarn, and I just love Erica and Jess so much. They are the quintessential beauties. I love them. Okay, Chelsea Yarn's beautiful silk scarf. I love it. Okay, another thing that I got was, oh my gosh, these incredible stitch markers by Black Pearl Magic. Where did I put them? I just had them. Here they are. Ah, so cute. And the bags. Oh, I didn't get a bag, but that is on my wish list, is a bag. Look at these butterflies, progress keepers, stitch markers. I mean, Black Pearl Magic has magic. Like the colors, the designs, those bags, those zippers. Like I love the exposed zippers. I can't, it's so good. Everything is so good. And then also I got from Maia a sock set from Fashion School Dropout, which I wish I could find. I'm in Maia's room right now recording because she's at exercise class, and she's gonna kick me out as soon as she gets home. But I can't find where she put the sock set. But in any case, Maia has been knitting all the socks. By the way, I was thinking of doing some sock kits as well, because inspired to finally start knitting socks myself. Finally, after I get these two things off the needles. Okay, last but not least, I want to show you a book and a kit that I got that is inspired by Kaffe Fassette. Okay, so I have known of Kaffe since I was an early knitter. Now, I started to knit when I was 25. It was like the mid-90s. And so, you know, Kaffe Fassette was like very, very popular in all, and still is. But every time I'd go to the yarn stores, there were a lot of Kaffe Fassette type things, needlepoint kits. And I wasn't really interested in needlepoint at that time in my life, but more and more now I'm like getting the bug. So Maia came home the other day from a book sale, and she found this Kaffe Fassette Welcome Home. So this must be at least like a 25 or 30-year-old book, but it just never fails to inspire his color combinations. This is about his studio at home, and like every nook and cranny is filled with inspiration. I sort of like to be living in like a 3-floor Edwardian home in London and have it filled from head to toe with objects of art and inspiration, and you know, things that he picks up and collects. Like, look at this needlepoint chair. Is that not amazing? And the way it goes with the wallpaper and the rug. I mean, more is more, right? Anyway, so I couldn't help it. I decided to get a Kaffe Fassette pillow. Well, it could be anything really, but I want it to be a pillow, a needlepoint kit. So this is the pattern. And like what really gets me is the oversized flowers. I think these are peonies. I'm not sure. And the different shadings. And when I saw this finished, I was like, oh my God, this is such an explosion of color. The orange background, the hot pink. I mean, everything. So I have not even made a dent. I've just been looking at this and dreaming, but I really should. I really should go for it. I don't know the basics. I've been watching, I mean, I kind of do, but I don't want to screw it up. So I've been watching some YouTube videos of how to begin needlepoint, but if anybody has any suggestions for me, that would be great. I think it's just like a regular cross stitch if I'm not mistaken, but in any case, I want to make sure that I get it right. The first step seems to be to make a little, like there's a cutout and you put the different yarns on each number so that you see your palette as you are creating the project, so you don't get confused, because some of the shades I think are quite close, and so it's very specific. So anyway, I used to do latch hook as a kid, and I think this is, and I think I did a little bit of needlepoint too, but I've forgotten so much. So in any case, that's that. So thank you for joining me on this little catch-up episode. I'm hoping that you are having a great summer. Have you been traveling? Have you been knitting? Have you been crafting, gardening, all of the above, some of the above? I would love to know. And thank you again for joining. Please be sure to comment about, what is your next project in anticipation of fall that you plan on getting on your needles in order to win these wonderful yarn babies. Yeah. And yes, please subscribe, like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next podcast. Okay, so nice to see you today. Have a great week and enjoy this wonderful summertime. Okay, bye.